Alright, so this morning's refresh in Reverse 1999 brought a new round of Reveries in the Rain, specifically the Voyages in Volatility challenge. If you haven't already, you're definitely going to want to clear these stages out and grab all the rewards, because these are what give us access to Euphoria abilities. And unlocking Euphoria is what really takes your Arcanists to the next level. Speaking of which, in just a few days, 4 more characters are getting their Euphoria upgrades. So if you're running low on materials to unlock them, now's the perfect time to stock up. Even if you don't have those characters fully built yet, the materials don't expire, so you can always use them later. Point is, clearing more Voyages in Volatility should be a standard practice by now. Now, this guide's gonna be a little different. Instead of separate videos for each stage, I'm combining all 3 into one. I think this might help bring more visibility to the video overall. And just as a reminder, even though I'm showing how to score the max 120,000 points, you only need 80,000 to get all the rewards. My guide clears everything on hard mode, but realistically you only need to clear 1 stage on hard. The other 2 can be done on normal, and you'll still get everything. There's no extra bonus for going above 80k, so don't stress it too much. All right, let's get into it. Stage 1, Zhuye critters.
I hear something.
First up, we're facing a group of 4 Zhuye critters. These birds are all star afflatus, which means you're gonna wanna bring plant Arcanists. Not only does the global effect punish you for using the wrong afflatus, but it also rewards you for using the right one. Plus, these birds take reduced damage from single star incantations, so upgrading your cards as much as possible is key. If you have plant myth support fully unlocked, that helps a ton. Another thing to watch out for, these birds start in their unevolved form, but as they charge up their moxie and cast their ultimates, they evolve into a stronger version. And you do not want that to happen. The evolved versions are way more aggressive, and if all 4 evolve, it's gonna be a nightmare. Ideally, you want to stop them from evolving at all. My team and strategy. For this fight, I brought Druvis, Sotheby, Cornbloom, and Argus. This lineup has been a powerhouse for clearing Voyages stages, and today's no exception. Druvis is the MVP here. Her petrification stacks keep the birds locked down, stopping them from using their ultimates. If you don't have Druvis, Diggers, or Satsuki can also do a good job at controlling them, just not as effectively. As you'll see in the gameplay, these birds aren't really that threatening as long as you control their evolution. The key is to focus down one at a time and use your control abilities strategically. If you do let one evolve toward the end of the fight, it's not the end of the world, but if all 4 evolve early on, things can spiral out of control fast. So yeah, the game plan here is simple. Bring plant Arcanists, upgrade your incantations, lock the birds down with petrification, and hit them hard before they evolve. Final thoughts on stage 1. Honestly, this was probably the easiest of the 3 stages to clear on hard mode. Part of that is because my plant team is really strong. 3 of them have Euphoria unlocked, but I also think these birds just aren't that threatening in their unevolved state. Compared to what's coming in the next 2 stages, controlling these guys is way more manageable. That's it for the first part of this guide. I'll have timestamps in the description so you can jump around to different sections if needed.
With bated breath.
Between segments, I'll just let the gameplay play out without extra commentary, and I'll jump back in when we move on to the next stage. Good luck with this one, and remember, you can clear it on normal and still get all the rewards, as long as you do at least 1 stage on hard.
Always hide in carelessly. Listen carefully. Chopping out comes to go down.
I always hit my mark. Trail's still warm. The reticent woods are watching you. You can run, but but you can't hide. Don't waste my time.
I weave the gown with thorns. You shall repay with sacrifice of wounds. Wash through the armor of the forest. Good timing. Good timing.
Guns loaded.
Whose heart is beating so loud?
Trail's still warm. Guns loaded.
Shh! I hear something.
The trail was all too obvious. Penetrate. Don't mess with Texas.
Radio waves are everywhere.
Trail's still warm.
Good timing.
I always hit my mark.
Whose heart is beating so loud?
No need to look back.
You can run, but you can't hide.
All right, moving on to stage 2, which is kind of like a remix of stage 1, but with some extra challenges thrown in. This time, we're up against 4 Olitiau birds, and they function pretty similarly to the Zhuye birds from before. The key difference? These guys are mineral afflatus, which means, yep, you'll need to bring your star-type arcanists to take advantage of the global effect that punishes misches but rewards correct afflatus damage. Now, star-type arcanists? They're famous for their high crit rates and massive damage, but let's be real, they're not exactly known for controlling enemies. In the last stage, Druvis carried the team by shutting down evolutions, but Star Arcanists don't really have that kind of control. Well, except for one, and she's the key to making this stage so much easier. I'm talking about Regulus, our groovy little DJ, who, believe it or not, has a super underrated but insanely useful ability that's going to cut this challenge in half. More on her in a sec, but first let's talk about what makes this stage extra annoying. The freeze mechanics. This fight introduces 2 types of freeze effects, and both can really mess up your plans. 1, your Arcanists can get frozen. If a key character gets locked out at the wrong time, it can throw everything off. This is why cleansing and debuff removal is essential. 2, your incantations can get frozen. One of your spells gets locked every turn, and you can't move it, use it, nothing. This part is especially frustrating because, unlike frozen characters, you can't cleanse spells. So yeah, a little RNG in play here, which makes this stage one of the trickier ones, possibly the hardest to clear on hard mode. If you're struggling or don't have Regulus, this is the perfect stage to just clear on normal and save your hard mode attempt for another one. But if you do have Regulus, let's talk about why she's the MVP here.
Calm down.
Team setup and strategy. For my lineup, I went with Lilia for raw damage output, Tooth Fairy for healing and cleansing,
Relax.
super important in this fight, Mercuria for critical rate support, Regulus, the real MVP, and here's why. At star level 2, Regulus has this mass attack that subtracts Moxie from any enemy she lands a crit on. And since we've got Tooth Fairy, Mercuria, and the Star Myth support buff boosting crit rates, Regulus is practically guaranteed to crit, which means she's constantly stealing Moxie from the birds. What does this do? It completely shuts down their ultimate attack. No ultimates means no evolutions, which makes this stage way more manageable. When the birds hit full Moxie and try to cast their ultimate, Regulus yoinks their Moxie away, wasting their turn and leaving them vulnerable. This strategy is key because unlike our plant team from stage 1, Star-type Arcanists don't have strong control effects. But with Regulus constantly draining their Moxie, we don't even need to control them the traditional way. We're just stopping them from doing anything threatening in the first place. Once you've got the battle under control, Lilia takes over and mows everything down. Just make sure you're keeping Tooth Fairy active for heals and critical buffs, and use Mercuria's support skill when needed. And of course, protect Regulus. She's the one keeping the fight from spiraling out of control. Final thoughts. Like I said earlier, this guide kinda requires Regulus. If you don't have her, I highly recommend just clearing this on normal mode and saving your hard clear attempt for one of the other 2 stages. Even if you do have her fully built, this is still the hardest stage to clear on hard because of the random freeze effects on your characters and spells. So don't stress over this one. Clear it on normal, get your rewards, and move on. But if you do want to take on the challenge and don't mind a bit of RNG, this strategy should get you through. And hey, if you've been following along with my guide and managed to clear stage 1 and 2 on hard mode, you've already hit the 80,000 point requirement, meaning you've unlocked all the rewards and you don't even need to clear stage 3 if you don't want to. That's it for this stage. I'll let the gameplay roll and we'll pick things back up for stage 3 in just a bit. Don't forget to check the timestamps in the description to jump around if needed. Good luck!
They're just little games.
This'll help.
Nice!
Swallow my exhaust. Relax. No worries.
Start me up! Are you ready to be
Come
blinded?
back to me. Please, don't resist.
Woohoo! Release! Are you ready to shake? Woohoo! Release!
To the right.
They're just little games. Start me up.
Fine.
Nice! Left hand up. Now right hand up.
Right win. To the left. We need some peaceful moments.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts? Fine.
Regaining control of our bodies.
Right win. Oh oh.
the left. To the right. No right.
ВДВ.
To the left.
Сколько побед? Time.
Breathe.
Swallow my exhaust.
Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into the third and final segment of our guide for this challenge. This time, we're up against a team of 4 Abraxas birds. Whoever designed this challenge really has a thing for birds and evolution. And just like the previous 2 stages, the key to winning here is simple. Don't let these birds cast their ultimate abilities and evolve, or things will spiral out of control fast. Afflatus advantage and team composition. For this stage, the Abraxas birds are plant-type Afflatus. That means, given the global effect that punishes the wrong Afflatus type and rewards the correct one, we'll want to bring a team of beast-type characters. However, it might be fine to bring along one non-beast character to support the star of the show, Anjo Nala. Similar to the star team from the previous segment, beast-type Arcanists typically don't have strong control effects like plant types do. Instead, they focus on mechanics that enable ultimates and moxie generation, which isn't super helpful in stopping these birds from evolving. But one beast Arcanist stands out, Anjo Nala. She is absolutely essential for clearing this stage on hard mode. If you've unlocked and built her, the solution becomes clear. Quick spoiler, if you don't have Anjo Nala, this strategy won't work, and I'd recommend clearing this stage on normal and focusing your hard mode attempt elsewhere. The good news? If you do have Anjo Nala, she pretty much handles this stage on her own. You don't need a specific team composition to make it work. Let's take a look at my team and strategy for clearing stage 3 on hard mode.
That's the direction.
Stage mechanics and unique challenges. Before we get into the team breakdown, let's talk about what makes this stage unique. Unlike the previous 2 battles, every other round, the Abraxas birds gain 2 stacks of dodge, meaning they can completely avoid incoming attacks. The Beast Myth support boss helps here, as she can immediately remove one of those stacks. That leaves the birds with only 1 dodge every 2 rounds, which isn't too difficult to manage, but still sets this stage apart from the others. Another thing to keep in mind is that single target attacks face a damage penalty, while mass attacks receive a damage bonus. So prioritizing AoE abilities is key. Now let's talk about the team I used. Anjo Nala, our main carry, benefiting from the Afflatus advantage and taking full control of the battle. Shamane, mostly here for his Euphoria unlock. He does get a few ultimates off, but he isn't essential. His strong debuff is helpful though. Medicine Pocket, our healer, also correctly matching the Afflatus system. Medicine Pocket is also great for emergency control, with an ultimate that provides a free stun on any of the birds if things get dicey.
Prepare to be drowned.
Yenisei, Anjo Nala's contract carrier. I personally love using Yenisei in this role because she brings healing, and shielding, and immunity while also helping with damage mitigation.
Worry not. The direction of fate is
Now let's
decided.
talk about the strategy. Since this stage applies dodge stacks to the birds and rewards mass attacks, we're going to contract Anjo Nala with a star-type Arcanist. This causes her channeling bonus attack to function like a weaker version of her powerful Angel's Temptation. But the key is that it hits all enemies, qualifying as a mass attack. It also applies debuffs that eventually lead into full down control effects. The catch? You can only do this twice per round, so most of the battle will involve 1. Activating Anjo Nala's channel. 2. Using 2 abilities from Yenisei to trigger Angel's Temptation bonus attacks. 3. Using Shaman for debuffs or Medicine Pocket for healing as needed. This flexibility means that as long as you have Anjo Nala, you can pair her with any star or mineral Arcanist, and the strategy still works. I personally like Yenisei for this contract because of her defensive support, which allows you to focus purely on eliminating the birds. Difficulty rating and final thoughts. As for difficulty, I'd say stage 1 is the easiest, though that might just be my bias since I have a strong plant team. But because this guide relies on having Anjo Nala, I'd rate stage 3 as a medium difficulty clear. Remember, you only need to clear one stage on hard mode. So for most players, I'd recommend hard clearing stage 1 and doing stages 2 and 3 on normal. But ultimately, it depends on your roster and preferred playstyle. I hope this guide has been helpful. Let me know if you like this new format of combining all 3 stages into one video with timestamps for easy navigation. Your feedback is always appreciated. And before we wrap up, don't forget, a new exchange code dropped over the weekend. I've posted it in our community tab, and one great benefit of subscribing to this channel is that you'll always get those codes in your home feed, so you never miss out on rewards. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next guide.
That's the direction. Shall I, Master?
Everyone has their own definition.
Look, an earth-suspended river. Ice flood. Worry not. The direction of fate is decided. Sweet dreams.
All right, deep breath in.
I'm ready.
A clear vision.
Keep calm.
Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone.
Go! 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 Puppies!
Prepare to be drowned.
That's the direction.
All right.
Shall I, Master? Rivers are the scars of the earth. Пусть слюнов тажит течет вместе с водой.
Give me a hand, friends. I can't do this alone.
Worry not. The direction of fate is decided. Sweet dreams. That's the direction. Perfectly understood. The turbulence arrives.
Prepare to be drowned.